Once again, the resiliency of the markets never ceases to amaze. Powder keg in the Middle East, ready to blow up and suck us into it. Hurricanes running north and south and east and west like runaway buzzsaws. A pivotal presidential election, and the S&P 500 could still blast through some decent resistance zones. Let's take a look at this on the big board chart. We'll take the time here to go through all of these resistance levels up to the all-time intraday high. So for several days, price was under the daily conversion line. And here's the daily conversion line. It's a 9 simple moving average and the baseline 26 simple moving average. And price went under the conversion line here on the 1st and stayed there a few days, had one day above it, right back down, and then blasted out of there for the past 2 days with price moving up. And the weekly S&P 500 going back to 2016 with the diamond pattern here that it busted out of. But what I did here was draw a downtrend line here that it blasted out of, hit a throwback, pretty good support, and off to the races. But then I had them here too, so there was one here, and one here. And looking in close at the most current one, you can see that I put it right across the top of that candlestick there and right through the top of the body of that one. And it was pretty good support here. It opened right above the line or on the line and took off for this week and nailed the weekly diamond top extension and the weekly rising tops trend line from 314.16. And here's the weekly diamond top extension here in pink, and then the 2016 rising tops line here. It went under the other one from the middle of 16 right here, and then that's the one right here where the weekly diamond top and that one pretty much run right together in the current day. And so that's how far it went up, here, and then a new all-time intraday high here at that level. And then the weekly ongoing demand line, which we use for support and resistance only. And that's right here. I made it solid to look like a line, and that started back here August 4th. It's been pretty good support, and that's where it ends up current day. And it was actually qualified, but we don't qualify or confirm it in the weekly chart, but it did gap down below it here in the beginning of the week and then recovered, and that's where it sits today. Tomorrow, Friday, is the last day. And if it stays above it, then it will be that level next week, 5827.66. And next is this rising tops line in the daily chart going back to 4/20/2020, so right after the COVID crash bottom. And here's what it looks like on a long range chart right down here in April. That's the other line here, so we're looking at this one down here in 2020, and you can see that's running right up to the current day. And other than the chaos of 2022, it's been pretty good resistance here. So right here, had a whipsaw here, but continued resistance here and here. And here it is zoomed in. It's this bottom one here. Nice support. Came under it, and now we're back above it. And right in between this other rising tops line in red But the pitchfork is next, so pitchfork 1, let's look at that. And here's the pitchfork chart going back to 2020 again, or 2022, where the other one, older one that it's blasted out of, I have some ad hoc lines here in between the 3 that stock charts gives us, but it's blasted out of all of those, came back for some nice support test, and then off to the races. And then I drew another one here, so that's anchored here. Let's zoom in. So I'm not going to move this one or add any other of my own lines because it's already over 5.5%. That's my absolute maximum for extending these lines that stock chart gives us. So this is it for this pitchfork, but anchored nicely here. I wouldn't want to move it anyway. So pretty good resistance here. A couple of tests, and then now we are above it and pretty much sitting right on top of it. And that's right here. Next up is the daily relative retracement up 5 from 419.24. And here's that one anchored here, April 19th, qualified and confirmed everything, magnet level 1.382, just kept blasting. The way this usually works is it hits the magnet level and then there's usually a pretty good downdraft, like this is like the max it can go, but if it continues blasting, the mark has given us other levels here, retracement up 4, up 3 here, up 5 here, and here's the one we're bumping up against right here, the last level for that relative retracement is an up 6, so we're above that. And next up is the daily phantom combo sell risk level, and I show these because I have the combo regular Big Daddy level set to really strict, so this is way less strict for printing sell risk levels and 13s. So I have the daily phantom and sequential combos on here, and here's the DeMark daily chart showing all those. Here it's back here, this phantom combo, and again similar to relative retracement, when you print all these 13s, even though the phantoms are secondary to regular combo and sequential, which has now printed both combo and sequential yesterday on the 9th. But you can see the risk level here for the phantom combo right there, and then after that is the aggressive sequential, and I believe that's from this one here, yes. So similar to phantom, it's a secondary level to the big daddies right here. I call them combo and sequential. These are the ones that are the main 13 levels here. All others are secondary. And then this one's debatable for overwriting the big daddies here. There's a sequential cluster cell countdown completion 13. So this normally would indicate trend level exhaustion, but nowadays it just pays no attention to that, so we just stick with these risk levels. We pay more attention to those than all these 13s that print and normally scare the living heck out of you. And here's the daily combo and sequential cell risk levels that I calculated before they even print. We'll see the print later on tonight or for tomorrow morning, but this is where it will print up here. There's the daily aggressive, and then that sequential cluster will be in the same area. And back to the daily rising tops line from December 28th, 2021 is right here on the long range chart. You can see it right here. Real nice placement across candlestick wick tops here, and then I had it anchored here, but there were candle wick tops that were good resistance here, so I actually moved it up a little, And that's what it looks like here. So it was acting as good resistance there, so I bumped it up from here, and we now are sitting right below it today, and right in between that one and that one going back to 2016. So a little concerning there. And back to the weekly diamond top extension and weekly rising tops trend line from March of 2016. And again, here's what that looks like right there. So we're right up against that too. But to have price just completely blast through everything, starting here above the daily conversion line, and all of these resistance levels, it actually went through these two and had a new all-time intraday high here. I mean, that's incredible. That's an incredible show of strength. Yeah, we pulled back a little today, kind of ended up right in here in this no man's land where there's nothing there, right? 780.05. So yeah, right in between the daily rising tops line in red and that daily phantom combo sell risk level, and get through all of this again, and then we'll be challenging the daily Bollinger Band upper bands. All these Bollinger Band upper bands and daily Stark and weekly Stark bands have been holding their own up there as price is hitting it. So it hit that upper Bollinger Band. I don't think this is today yet. No, this is still yesterday. But the channel 3 high is taking a bend upwards, and if it continues going incrementally higher for higher highs, not necessarily higher closes, it will push this envelope up again, similar to back here. It just kept bumping it up and up. So that's how that ends up going upwards trajectory. But right now it has a lot of work to do with this Bollinger Band bent down like that. So until something happens and these upper Stark bands and Bollinger bands end up moving significantly downwards and meet these levels here, then the potential for the upside price action is very legitimate. And there's the weekly channel 3 high, similar to the yellow daily one there. And then we got a whole nother set of resistance to blast through. There's the phantom daily sequential. The rising tops line goes back a ways, February 2023. There's that weekly sequential sell risk cluster there. And the bottom of uptrend channel B, which price continues chasing and challenges. And it goes in there for a day and then ends up as a big downdraft. Here's the Big Daddy daily combo and sequential sell risks. We're going to more than likely have that sequential cluster sell risk here and the daily aggressive sequential sell risk, and then ultimately the daily retrace up 4 from August of 2024. So that's the relative new one on the block here. And when all the other levels from 2022 bottom in October, I believe, they became qualified and confirmed. So I got rid of that on the charts. I don't believe I have that on here anymore. No, I don't. So then I replaced it with that one there for 2024 in August. And that's right there. So it qualified and confirmed the 0.382 up 1, the up 2, the magnet level, and now if it can qualify and confirm this other one back from early 2024 in April, then they'll be challenging this one, the up 3 from back here. It's incredible. So I'm still in the caution stance. I have not been doing too much. Maybe a little bit of insurance buys from the hurricanes. I took a bet that the current hurricane, Milton or Mitchell, whoever it was, wasn't going to be as bad as they were all saying. That, well, Florida was going to just end up in a big ditch going from west to east. And bought some of the insurers from down there in Florida, took a chance, and that paid off very well. Made a nice tidy sum